So let's talk home care marketing. My name is Frank. I'm the founder of SagaPixel. We are a digital marketing firm that specializes in healthcare marketing. If you have any questions about what I'm talking about in this video, please leave them in the comments. And after you're done with this video, you should definitely check out the playlist that I'm going to link in the description. Let's get into it. I'm going to start off by talking about the short-term strategies. Channel number 1. Google Ads. There are lots of home care agencies out there that cannot be helped by Google Ads. And there are also plenty out there that can drive really predictable, high ROI leads. What's the difference? And which are you? The great thing about Google Ads is as soon as you start it, you're going to get leads if it's working. It's also a channel that has a very high diminishing point of return. In most markets, you can probably spend up to $15,000 or $20,000 a month and not start seeing great increases in your cost per conversion. And if this is a feasible channel for you, you'll likely see a cost per lead anywhere from, let's say, $60 to $150. We've run Visiting Angels PPC campaigns that drove $22 leads and Home Helpers leads at $36. We've also had months where the cost per lead was $200, $300, but they were solid leads. Last year, however, we had a lot of these Google Ads campaigns that we were running for home care agencies that were complete failures. What did they all have in common? I have an entire video that gets into this, but the gist of it is that brand new home care agencies that don't have any reviews, in particular the ones that don't have the most amazing looking website, they don't do great with Google Ads. The home care agencies that are established brands, that have polished websites, that have reviews, those tend to be the ones that do well with Google Ads. So if that describes you, go for it. If it doesn't, watch the rest of this video to see what you should be doing. Short-term marketing channel number 2, directories. In pretty much any market in the United States, if you perform a search like home care services near me, you're going to see care.com, caring.com, and other directories almost always present in the top 5 positions. Now, the reason for this is that, first of all, they have people doing SEO that know what they're doing. But second of all, and actually more importantly, Google has learned over time that people that are performing searches like home care near me are looking for websites where they can compare and contrast all the options that they have. They want to see reviews. And if you get involved with one of these directories, if you get listed and you start paying for leads, you will get leads. The thing is, though, there are going to be 3 to 5 other home care agencies that are also getting those same leads, and you're going to be competing against them. My observation has been that the markets that have a home care agency that is advertising on these directories that has a dialed in, very strong sales team, they end up closing the lion's share of the leads that come in through these directories, and everybody else fights over the scraps. So if you have a strong sales operation, you should look into these directories. If you know that that's not you and you're just kind of figuring it out, it might not be the channel for you. So when it comes to short-term strategies, that's it. You have Google Ads, you have the directories. Transitioning over to the long-term strategies, the first one I'm going to talk about is SEO. Now, it may not be always appropriate to categorize SEO as a long-term strategy, which is why I'm starting with it. If you go over to our website, we actually have a case study here for a client that we started with in August of 2023. Before we started working with this website, they were at position 42 for this query, home care, Scottsdale, Arizona. And then by the end of August, by the end of the first month that we worked with them, they were at position 6. Now, this isn't in the case study, but by the end of the following month, they were at position 1. Getting you to the top of the search results in a matter of 4 to 6 weeks, I would qualify as a short-term strategy. But truth be told, you can't do this for everybody. In this case, this was a home care agency that had been around for several decades, that had a website going back probably 20 years, with a charismatic founder that had a reputation in the local market and plenty of reviews. And it really just needed a good SEO to go in and implement some technical SEO improvements, as well as some on-page entity optimizations. And voila, basically within a week and a half of implementing our changes, they were at position 6. If you are a home care agency that's been around for a really long time, that has a strong reputation in your local market, that has positive reviews, there's a good chance that SEO could be a short-term strategy. If you are brand new and this is a website that's been up for a year and a half, there's no scenario in which someone's going to catapult you from position 42 to position 6 in a week and a half, in which case SEO is very much going to be a long-term strategy for you. I have an entire video that goes into deep details about SEO for home care. If you YouTube it or Google it, it's the first result, super easy to find. It's a video in and of itself. I don't want to take too much of your time talking about it in this video. Definitely recommend that you check it out. Long-term strategy number 2, old school branding. There are home care agencies that plaster billboards and buses and benches with their brand. It works. I've interviewed people that work at those home care agencies. It works. But people need to see those billboards and those buses for months, repeatedly, and they need to come away from them with a positive impression about your home care agency. So take it from a digital marketer, somebody that doesn't do anything with billboards. It can grow your home care agency, but it's a long-term strategy. Long-term strategy number 3, use LinkedIn to grow your referral network. The best leads you're ever going to get are going to be from your referral network. There are healthcare providers, potential referral sources that you know that could send you business, but frankly, they've forgotten about you. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Come up with a content calendar where you are regularly posting things about your business, about home care, demonstrate your expertise, and stay top of mind. In addition, I would recommend that any new cases that you bring in, you connect with their primary healthcare providers and see what you can do to get your foot in the door. Over time, if you do this well, you'll find that your referral sources will by far have the lowest cost per acquisition of any channel that you employ, followed probably by SEO. So why haven't I said anything about social media? I mean, technically LinkedIn is social media, but isn't everybody on like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram? Why isn't Frank telling me that I should be marketing my home care agency through popular social media channels? If you are a small independent home care agency with a typical small budget, there are much better channels that you should be focusing on than social media. Even if you look at monster companies like Bayada that have entire marketing teams and people whose full-time job is to focus on social media, gets this kind of engagement on their posts, and then frankly, if you dig into it, most of the people that are liking are employees. The resources, the strategy, the expertise that's needed to build a strong social media following is very expensive. It takes a long time. It's almost impossible to isolate to a geographic area. So if your home care agency does not have a national reach, it's almost certainly going to be a waste of time and resources. While I have seen compelling evidence that social media can be great at retaining staff and increasing the engagement that you have with your employees, I've never met with a home care agency that said that Instagram and Facebook have been great lead sources for them. I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, please consider giving it a like. You should definitely check out the playlist that I talked about at the beginning of the video. It's linked in the description. And I'll be checking the comments, so if you have any questions or anything, I'll see them and be sure to answer.
1